Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Wednesday, April 9th. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral. With me today is Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. We are the Queer God Squad. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about our progressive faith community and how you can be a part of it no matter where you live in the world. Watch our streaming programs, ask for prayer, make donations, follow us on social media. We'd love to have you as part of our community regardless of your location. And if you live in South Florida, be sure to check out the Sunshine Cathedral Center for the Performing Arts, offering entertainment for the LGBTQ+ community to benefit the LGBTQ+ community. Queer God Squad was created by Hotspots Happening Out to support our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community. There's no streaming TV show like this in the entire world. In 2025, we are celebrating the 40th anniversary of Hotspots Magazine, the 5th anniversary of Queer News Tonight with nearly 10,000 stories and 10 million views in 2024. We will produce the 25th anniversary of Stonewall Pride Parade and Festival on June 14th, Pride Fete Diversity Pride in August, and Pride Fort Lauderdale next February. We are part of the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. If you enjoy the Queer God Squad, please share this or other episodes with your friends, family, and social media communities. This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Sometimes Jesus marries a dude. Blessed Bernardo Francisco de Hoyos y de Seña, that's important, I'm going to try him again. Bernardo Francisco de Hoyos y de Seña was an 18th century Spanish priest who wrote about his mystical marriage to Jesus. This queer saint was beatified in 2010 and his feast day is November 29th. Bernardo was 18 when he had a vision of marrying Jesus in a companionship ceremony, a wedding. He described it this way, quote, "Always holding my right hand, the Lord had me occupy the empty throne. Then he fitted on my finger a gold ring, saying, 'May this ring be an earnest of our love. You are mine and I am yours. You may call yourself and sign Bernardo de Jesus. Just as I said to my spouse, Santa Teresa, you are Bernardo de Jesus and I am Jesus de Bernardo. My honor is yours, your honor is mine. Consider my glory that of your spouse, and I will consider yours that of my spouse. All mine is yours, and all yours is mine. What I am by nature, you share by grace. You and I are one." End quote. Yummy. Bernardo had more than one romantic vision concerning Jesus, including Jesus' proposal of marriage to him. Quote, "Handpicked soul of mine, I want you for my companion. Consider, beloved soul, if it would suit you to take me as your husband. Consider it well." End quote. Bernardo did consider and consent. Bernardo's experiences fit into a long tradition of mystical marriages comparing the soul's union with God to a human wedding. It is also called nuptial mysticism. Does romantic Jesus, and homoromantic Jesus at that, make him seem more real or more relevant to you? I love everything about it. Love it, love it, love it. I remember the various mystical stories, and usually the ones they pointed out in seminary were the one with women, where women would have would call themselves Jesus' spouse or talk of Jesus as their husband. Sometimes not as intently. I forget who it was. It was Hildegard or Julian, but someone who did have pretty detailed erotic experiences that they would journal. But mostly it was just about, it was just I'm the wife, he's the husband, or whatever. But we talk about the church as the bride of Christ, which in that terminology masculinizes Jesus and feminizes the church, and the church is made of men and women. So there's a lot of gender fluidity in that ecclesiology, and then of course we do have these mystical saints that have these mystical unions with Christ, and this one with a man and Jesus. And just notice how comfortable it is, how innocent it is, how sweet it is. Just, I had this, my soul is so in love with the way shower. And I feel that it's reciprocal. I feel like Jesus loves me in the same way. Like there's this union. And be my spouse, Bernardo, like Teresa is my spouse. And like I said to her, I'm saying to you, so it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. There is some physicality. He took my hand, he put me in his seat. But it's also more than that, oh soul of mine. There's all of these multiple layers. But the erotic is sacred and the sacred is erotic. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your gender, because it's all sort of mixed up anyway. It's all fluid. It's all flowing in and out of everything anyway. So I have a pretty low Christology, but if I had a high Christology, I would like to think it was this sort of Christology, an erotic Christology. For me, Jesus is just so human. And I can think of him as being sexy, but I can't think of Jesus isn't that cosmic figure for me. He's a prophet, he's a teacher, he's a person whom I love, whom I admire, whom I respect. I can even call him Lord. But I'm sort of jealous of this experience, where you could have Jesus is so cosmically present that you could have an erotic relationship with him. So I bless those who've had that experience, and maybe I will one day. I've had a lot of mystical experiences, but never one where Jesus has put me in a chair and put a ring on my finger, and so I may be jealous. I may need me some of that, but until I have it, I'm just thankful for those who do. I think it's an affirmation of Jesus's closeness to all kinds of people, and an affirmation of the goodness, in fact, the holiness of sexuality.
This outline or story reminded me of a movie from 1994. And the movie was Priests. And
I remember that.
You remember that movie, 1994? The movie is Priests, and a lot of stuff in there, watchers beware. But there's this one particular scene where the priest is in prayer.
Well,
and there's a crucifix hanging on the wall.
Okay.
And he just starts off, how dare you hang there looking like that? And that's how he opens his prayer. Like he's talking about his body, his physique.
all beautiful and hot and handsome and muscular. And
this is 1994. This was a Catholic priest.
And then judging me for being tempted.
And then you're going to judge me for not doing what I know to be right. I mean, it's a load of it. And that kind of reminded me of this story about, even for that 1994 movie, reminds me of what it means to be in relationship with the God of our understanding, or the Jesus of our understanding, and of what that takes on for us. And how we own that, whether it's mentally, sexually, or even whatever. But it's like that was a shocking scene for me to watch it, because like I've never witnessed anyone, even though it was a movie, do something like that before. Like really talk back to the image of God, like holy crap. But yet to see this guy describe such a love scene with how he believes the Spirit interacts with who he is. That's kind of fascinating. I mean, if that ain't queer, I don't know what is.
I enjoyed his comfort level, his ability to articulate that kind of a feeling without worrying about what anybody else might think.
Yeah,
I thought that it's a beautiful story. It's a beautiful. There are beautiful thoughts, and wow, if all of us could be that comfortable with ourselves to be able to speak our truth in that way. Loved it.
Right. I appreciate how connected he felt to Jesus. And I also have great appreciation for mystical experiences as well. They often come about when you least expect it. But it seems to me that this was very directed. And it's beautiful, and it's loving, and it's caring. And I think, just because it's sexual, sometimes we tighten up a little bit. But if we just accept it for the beauty and wonder and connection that it is, it's really a phenomenal.
I think I just found my new opening for a wedding.
Oh,
yeah.
This could be a new way to open weddings and revise it a little bit.
When you were saying it, I thought that is so close to
Wedding
what we do
vows or
at
something.
weddings as it is, but to take the words verbatim, love it.
Yep.
Do you remember that Star Trek episode where Beverly Crusher basically had an affair with an energy being, Like she thought it was a ghost, and it had been her family for like generations. Like her grandmother had been in love with this ghost or whatever, but it wasn't really a ghost. It was just like a non-corporeal being, and it lived in a candle. So they'd light this candle and have a good time, and it was so fulfilling, so enjoyable that they would just sort of become isolated. They would just like hold up in their cottage or whatever, and never. So Beverly had gone home, and like they were afraid they were going to lose her because she just was going to live happily ever after in her family home with her candle, and whoever lived in that candle holder, and come to find out it was an energy being, and she, she broke up with him or whatever and went back to work. But yeah, some of the most profound stories that really get us to thinking and feeling and exploring have a sexual element.
Yes.
They do.
And I like that. So that is today with the Queer God Squad.
Invite you to join Sunshine Cathedral on a wonderful travel experience and help our mission for our community. Join us on the Florida AIDS Walk Pride Cruise. This unique 3-day cruise will sail from Miami on the $1 billion and ultra deluxe 170,000-ton MSC Seascape on November 2nd, 2025. The cruise is for the Florida AIDS Walk. Your participation helps 13 vital beneficiaries in our community. The cruise is an incredible value starting at just $199 and is also a fundraiser for the Sunshine Cathedral. Parties, special events, and more aboard, including a special unlimited beverage and open bar with Wi-Fi for all 3 days for just $68. We invite you to join us on this amazing cruise for fun. This vital cruise for good.
Thank you for joining the Queer Squad today. We are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about.
Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that. We all are in this together.
Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad. Goodbye.